So he's got 2 jobs. No. So you good? Good. Good. What's that?
Yeah, that's cut that off.
Yeah, good performance as well, yeah?
Cheerleaders.
Hey, let me tell you this. Man booted the ball out of the pitch. You want to talk to them?
Oh, I can't wait to be part of this. I can't wait to be part of this.
Tell him the first 20 minutes. First 20 minutes.
Hey, remember that? Hey, Brody, remember when he put the ball over there?
Because you got me mad.
You're shooting.
It was me. You shooting. What you was doing.
Man nearly smashed the window out there, man.
This week.
Man nearly smashed the window, you know. And he's blaming me.
I'm going to put a poll out, you know.
Hey, this is mannequins. I like when I play against mannequins.
Man don't want to play though. Man don't want to play. You don't want to take it back to Aldershot.
No.
Whoa. Hampton and Richmond. No. Northampton.
Northampton and Aldershot.
Yeah.
We won that game.
No, you didn't. Yeah, you're lying. That's why you ran off.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, that's right, bro. You said you had him in your pocket, innit?
We're here now.
And what side did he finish?
Action speaks louder than
what side did he finish?
Forget last week. We're here now. I'm not going to talk. We're here right now.
I didn't have to.
No, Hattie, terrorise him. That's what I do. I'm not a goal scorer.
You got to get on the board. You got to get on the board.
You see, when I play against man will tell you that I aim for a brother and I go after him. I don't. And if I say,
but he's light work though.
Man should know that, Bizzle. I like. If they check my scoring record, am I a goal scorer? Common sense.
But he's light work.
But I will aim for him if he wants it.
He don't want it.
Okay, we're here, Wednesday night football extravaganza, Fresh Ego FC sponsored by Xbox and Puma, and we have got the living legend, the Watford General, Adrian Mariappa.
Standing, bro.
How you doing, bro? You alright?
Okay, that's some introduction, that one.
Yeah, Frank's coming down. How you feeling?
Yeah, good man. Looking forward to it tonight.
Okay, cool, Matt. So look, I was looking at your club stats earlier, and I was looking at it saying that you started at Watford as a schoolboy, you went through the ranks, got your professional contract, you went to Reading, Crystal Palace, back to Watford, but then you had a period, was it last year, where you didn't have a club?
Yeah.
So for I think it's like 5 months or something, 4 or 5 months.
It was So the season finished end of July.
Yeah.
Obviously we got relegated at Watford, and then had a period of till November, where I signed for Bristol City.
Yeah.
I was just training myself.
But that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
So we're here at Fresh Ego FC talking about mental health. How did you feel at that time, and how did you keep yourself motivated and keep yourself focused? Because I saw you doing loads of training, like you was doing one-on-ones, you was keeping yourself on it. Like, how did you do that?
Good team around me of people that I rely on, sports scientists and physios that I use the whole time to make sure I'm fit and ready to go. Because for me it's just about keeping focused, and it's quite easy for me just to do that on myself. It's something I pride myself on doing. I try and take care of myself as best as I can. So for me, it was just following that process, and then obviously trusting your your agents and your team around you to actually, you know, do their job, you know. But you've got to live up to your end of the bargain as well.
Wicked. Maps, thank you so much. We're going to have to wrap up. The guys are waiting for you to get on the pitch. Yeah, you're going to stop some goals. It's been a pleasure.
Hey,
Go get the ball. You gotta knock on the door. Hey, you know what? You gotta knock on the door and be polite. When man is doing that, fam, for appearance, it's Fugazi, fam.
Okay, and we are back. It's another Wednesday night football bonanza at Fresh Ego FC, sponsored by Puma and Xbox. And we have got the man, Joe Jacobson, here today. Wycombe Wanderers legend. And and we're just going to talk a little bit about your journey in football, and we're going to talk about racism. I mean, the whole thing about Fresh Ego FC is to raise awareness for racism in football, mental health awareness, and life after football. So, I mean, Joe, I mean, talking about racism in football, you are a Jewish man. I think it was 2007. You was the first British-born Jewish man to play professional football.
Yeah, for about 25 years. I don't know why or any reason for that, but yeah, I was as shocked as anyone when I got told, and it's kind of been with me ever since, really, that there's probably only been 3 or 4 British Jewish players since I've started, made my debut 15 years ago, that have played in the game, and still to this day I'm not sure why.
So I know about Maccabi, okay, so I played a bit about Maccabi, and I saw that you sponsored the Kick It Out campaign, where you were on supporters of it. And I see those guys, right, they're really organised, skillful, really passionate about football. So why do you think then that's not that passion and that desire from what they do down there hasn't transferred to more Jewish professional footballers?
I don't know. I think one of the reasons is there's Jewish leagues in London where a lot of the young boys play. They're so enthusiastic about football. There's Jewish people involved at boardroom level, at owners, to the top of the Premier League. So there's definitely a pathway for Jewish people in football, but for some reason, whether or not that's the players don't want to get out of their kind of comfort zone and want to mix in other circles, I don't know, or whether it's scouts and clubs don't want to kind of go into their territories and pick out players. But like you said, they're as professional as anyone, they're as enthusiastic as anyone, there's some good players, and maybe they're a little bit scared to come out of that and push themselves against other kids from different communities and different areas, and especially in London where the main Jewish population is.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I mean, talking about what's going on down here, I mean, like, how important do you think it is that, you know, Fresh Ego FC and the likes of Puma and Xbox are getting behind the initiative to, you know, shine a spotlight on racism in football and, you know, in the general wider society? How important do you think that is?
It's huge. It's hugely powerful. What you guys done down here is amazing, and to use football, as it were, is such a powerful tool. It's worldwide. There's no bigger kind of business than football in the world. So if you can get players that have come down, like I've seen over the last weeks and months, who have got huge profiles and they're promoting it, then that's only a great thing. And it's like Marvin's done lots of things before with racism, with mental health issues and things like that, and it's incredible to see. And the more this grows, the better it is. And like you said, with huge sponsors behind it, you know, how can people not be, you know, seen to be attracted to that and to back that and get behind it? And it's just about putting it out there, educating people, showing people what's going on. And the more people can do that, the better it is for society, really, not just football, but for everyone.
Okay, Joe, so, I mean, we're also talking about mental health here. I mean, what's it like, you know, being in, you know, the pressure of being a professional footballer, you know, the pressure to deliver, you know, you've got to, you know, stop goals going and you've got to support your team. What's it like dealing with that on a day-to-day basis?
It's difficult. There's a lot of pressure in sport, and we've seen it in the Olympics now at the top level of the elite of sport, where players are suffering from mental health, and people kind of look from the outside and think that, you know, what worries do they have? They're performing at the elite level, they've got everything they need from support networks and things like that, but sometimes it can be a really lonely place and you know, all you've got at the end of the day, you go home and you've just got your thoughts with you about how you performed. You know that you can perform to a certain level, and if you don't do it, then it does eat up at you. And you know, luckily in a team sport, you've got your teammates around you, especially at Wickham. You know, I've never seen anything like it with the support we've got. The manager wants us to be really open and honest with each other. We've got a group of players they call the generals, who kind of look after the rest of the players. And you know, there's players that do have issues. It's normal, it's natural, it's life. And you know, we've just got really good open space where we can help each other. And you know, I think other clubs now are starting to try and do what Wickham do.
Right.
We've heard from behind the scenes that England, during the Euros, they mentioned Wickham and what Wickham do, just to try and get that community, that culture, and that kind of brotherhood.
All right, Joe, thank you very much for your time. And you not get any kit on today?
He's desperately trying to get me to play, but it's going to take more than one invitation to get me down here to play. Maybe next time.
What about a penalty?
Oh, yeah, come on. I'll show Marv how to take one.
Wicked, man. Thanks so much. Wicked, lovely, top man.
Mark.
Okay, we're here with Adebayo Akinfenwa, the man, He-Man, the big man, Wycombe Wanderers man, yeah? Look, we're here today, we're talking about, you know, mental health, we're talking about racism in football, life after football. You know, Fresh Ego FC put this together, it's sponsored by Puma, Xbox. I mean, how big of a thing, how important do you think that Marvin's put this all together? And, you know, what do you think about the movement?
I think those three courses you said, mental health, life after football and racism are important. And I feel like you've got to put as much attention and as much highlight on it as possible. Excuse my voice, it's gone. So just so those people don't feel like I'm on a croaky thing. But listen, I feel like it's brilliant what he's doing. So salute to Marvin.
What's your sort of take on racism in football? Where do you think we are? Do you think that things have improved? You look at the tabloids and the press and you see like negative stories. But do you think that we've moved forward, or we think we're moving forward?
Yeah and no. I feel that. Do you know one thing? I think I do. I get it. I'm a footballer, and I feel like this is our platform to talk about it. But sometimes when they say racism in football, so if we're just concentrating on football, what about schools? What about banking? There's racism period that we need to stamp out. So I feel like we need to talk about it like that, because it's those that's in society that come to football games, and I don't think like it's an overnight. It's not going to be an overnight campaign. It's not going to be an overnight issue that we deal with it. It is a long process. So do I feel that we are moving forward? Yes. Do I feel like we've moved forward enough? No. But like I said, I feel like we have to talk about it. We have to continue to highlight it. Talking, like I keep saying, it's as footballers, as a footballer, on the biggest stage, if I take a knee, my son asked, why are they taking a knee? So therefore it has to be started, that it starts conversations. It is not just enough. You can't just be doing campaigns. You can't just wear t-shirts. You can't just do hashtags. You can't just do blackouts. Continue little bits that contribute into a big change, and hopefully one day we will see change.
What do you think is the action that's going to be required to make the change, so that we don't therefore need to have the conversation anymore? What steps do you think we need to be taking?
First and foremost, unfortunately, I feel like we're going to continue to have this conversation. And I also believe that you've got to look at it from the top. You've got to look at the powers that be. The powers that be need to want to make change. I keep going back to this Super League. When there was talk about the 6 clubs leaving the Premier League, all hell broke loose because it was going to hurt their bottom line.
Yeah.
The powers that be need to want change. You've got to, and what I'm talking about, you're talking about racism in football, you're talking about placism, injustice, unfairly treated. I keep saying, how many black managers are there? How many black chairmen? How many black CEOs? How many black doctors? So this is where we're trying to talk. If you want change, you've got to start seeing change from the top. And until that starts to happen, we're constantly going to be asking these same questions. And the same thing when you're talking about the media have got their agenda, and we see that. So until we start making changes in those sort of places, unfortunately, we're going to still keep seeing the same outcome.
Akinfenwa, thank you very much. Fresh Ego FC.
I love.
Yeah.
Blessings,
Nice one.
blessings.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, brother.
All right, take care, yeah? Okay, thank you.
Come on, you change it up.
Okay, so that's the end of the game. That's another game finished. This game ended 6-5 to the Whites. Unfortunately, none of the Blacks come and give a post-game interview.
Yannick.
I'm not saying anyone's names.
Yannick.
I'm not saying anyone's names.
2 games, 2 losses.
But the Blacks didn't come out. We've got the Whites here. We've got Marvin, we've got Maps, and we've got Will. Let's go to you, Marvin. How do you think that went?
Unbelievable. The game changed when I come on the pitch at half-time. But I'd like to say thank you for my strike partner, Will. Matt scored a header. I don't know how he did.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. After we won, because my head was flying with you before.
35 and looking good,
34.
You're looking good. Will. I mean, to be fair, like towards the end of the game, you really shone. Yeah. How are you feeling now? What happened? What's going through your mind towards the end of that game?
Tired. I'm tired. Just tired. It's been a long time since I've been on that pitch, but you know what? Good to be with these boys and get a win. It's always nice. Might retire now. Retire on top.
I think he made Marv up his game today. Like, you know, I think that's the best I've ever seen Marv play. Like, he actually had a good first touch.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give it. When you're playing with good players, this is what happens. Yeah. No, I can turn like this because you know what I mean. I just want to say, now good players, but at the end of the day, yeah, I got another win. Ashley, that's 2, 3 on the spin. Don't know where he is, but like, yeah, I feel sorry for him.
He tries to clamp you every time.
No, I don't know.
All the time. Joel had a stinker today. Like, he's had some bad games, but today he was. Seriously. Hey, need a new ref. He was terrible.
I thought he done quite well. I mean, he's had a lot of difficult people to deal with. I thought he done quite well.
My ankles, bruv. Ashley's grabbed me around the neck. There was 2 penalties there.
Bruv, being a ref's difficult. It's difficult being a ref.
Bruv, he's telling me I'm doing it to him, he's doing it to me. A pen's a pen. At the end of the day, if I do something, or I'm in the box, he pulls me down, it's a penalty. It's ridiculous, but we won anyway, so I'm happy, yeah? Well done, guys.
Guys,
yeah.
nice.
I was ready for the fucking net to ripple, but at the end, he had a volley when we were drawing 4-4.
Yeah, he tried the Mesut Ozil thing in the bounce.
The ball was already bouncing.
But you know what you've done. So
Did I give a foul? Did I give a foul? So I let you play on.
I'm being fouled.
But I let you play on. But you're fouling as well.
You're not going to get next time I'm going to break his wrist.
That's me too.
No.
Hey, break his wrist. I'll break your wrist.
You're trying to say because of the pitch, you didn't win.
If man are coming to my
You know what
end,
man's
I'm
saying?
starting, you know.
You know what
I'm not
man's
sitting on
saying?
the side waiting,
that's
shouting, oh, yo.
That's the difference between
man
me and you.
starting, brother.
That's the difference between me and you.
I'm in there, fam. I'm in the mixer.
Brother Mark, you're not in the mixer because you lost twice. You lost twice. And then you
I've done my job. I've done my job.